Hello everyone. Alright, I'm here with the second part of my Men of War Assault Squad commentary, open beta on Fields, 5 vs 5. I noticed my 40mm before AA gun got decrewed by the enemy mortar, so I moved up. So my ally Holly Wars took it over and is firing at enemies in the bushes over there and actually killing some of them. And it actually works, so like as you can see, he's actually sniping the infantry quite well. And got a triple kill there. Like as I already said, but the before is just awesome. Like these guys are not the smartest people I've played, and since they don't move your guys out of the way, you can see right there the effects of it are just devastating on the enemy soldiers. And it reloads so fast, even with only one guy manning the gun. Like it's just a lethal weapon. And right there, he decides to shoot that Panzer IV a few times more just in case. Other than that, it's pretty good. I haven't really looked at the left flank much, but it seems pretty secure. In the middle, there's an M20. The enemy is a pack up there. Not much of a threat, really. And we got a... I have a lot of money right here, so I decided to buy a Jumbo, Sherman Jumbo. Jumbo's pretty much the same as it was in a more normal Men of War. It's got a better texture, but it has very heavy armor, enabling it to resist the Tiger's 88mm gun pretty easily. Same thing with the Panther, although if it from far away, if it closes in, however, the Sherman will likely die. But since the Sherman's gun's power has been increased in Assault Squad, the Jumbo Sherman is now a very good tank in order for dealing with the Panzer IV series. Like it can take out pretty much all of the Panzer IV series without any trouble by itself. Like really, like it has very little trouble taking out the Panzer IV series because the Panzer IV series can pretty much not take it out at all. Then I noticed that they have a WESP, a self-propelled howitzer. If you don't know, the WESP is a new unit in this game. Basically like the Hummel, except it's a 150mm gun. It only packs a 105mm gun, so it's a little bit smaller, and I think it reloads faster too. But I'm just like, okay, well, I'm moving up my Jumbo, and since his artillery really can't do shit to my Jumbo, I'm just gonna move it up, my Jumbo up, and actually see if I can destroy that WESP. Like, why not? Although he already destroyed mine befores and the truck used to transport it, so the befores is gone now, sadly. It had its time. Just moving up here slowly but surely. I don't want to make sure that he has any anti-tank infantry around in the bushes, and I don't know how far I can shoot. So right here, I decided to go into direct control and fire. And right there, I destroyed its hull and took out that WESP. Sniped him with my Jumbo. And that's what you do. You do not do that right there. With self-propelled howitzers, always keep them back. Do not move them up, especially if you do not know what the enemy has in store for you. It is not a good idea to move up your self-propelled artillery. Then I noticed they have a Flak 37, which is the 88mm gun. From that range, which is pretty far away, he's not quite capable of penetrating my Sherman. And right now I switched to high explosive to see if I can hit him. But unfortunately in Men of War, high explosive rounds have a shorter range, a shorter accurate range, and even a shorter range in general than armor-piercing rounds. So from that far away, while I can hit him with an AP round, I cannot hit him with an HE round. So I decided to load AP, because if you manage to hit the Flak 37 with AP in the right spot, you can actually knock out the gun barrel or even the carriage itself. And if that happens, then while the gun is not totally destroyed, it is at least out of action. He is slowly advancing his Flak 37 too, and I'm starting to get a little worried here because, well, the Flak 37 can't really kill me from that far away. He could if he gets closer. And right there, he gets a lucky hit on my main gun. So now instead of saying main gun destroyed, it just says main gun damaged for some reason. But it's pretty much means exactly the same thing. The main gun is destroyed and will have to be repaired. But it just, I think if now they've changed it so if it's repairable, it will say damaged, and if it's not repairable, it will say destroyed. I noticed an enemy Stug 4 moving up there as well. Now, I really don't know why they decided to make that change. I guess to make people new to the game more familiar with messages, because in normal Men of War, it would always just say destroyed no matter what, but I guess destroyed implies that it's permanent damage when in fact it's not, so I don't know what their reasoning behind that was, but I really don't mind. I noticed another enemy Goliath advancing here, and this is pretty funny. I'll just let you watch it. I'm thinking he's gonna blow up that M20 and just kind of get stuck there, and then he runs over the tankman and kills him. Oh, that was hilarious. I started to get worried here though because I don't want to make sure that he spots my my Jumbo. I really don't want to I don't want that to happen. So I decided to turn my Sherman and try to use the 50 cal, but the 50 cal is only capable of traversing a certain amount. Right there, his tank, it gets a lucky hit on the Goliath just as it was about to explode, and the Goliath actually did something rare. Like, the Goliath just was damaged like a normal tank, and it did not explode. The Goliath kept going, and it drove into my allies' mortar little hut there, but it did not explode, and it only knocked down a few of the sandbags. So that was quick reaction and very lucky for my allies' part. But for some reason, although the Goliath is destroyed and knocked out, it's not selectable. Well, it is selectable, and it still is read as an enemy, but we're really worried because my ally cannot move his mortar out of there with the sandbags up, and we're worried that it's going to explode at any time. But there's really nothing we can do about it. It's just really funny to see that. But yeah, as I was saying there, another change that they made to the game was that 50 calibers on the Sherman and similar vehicles are not capable of traversing 360 degrees anymore. They're only capable of traversing, I think, about 90, maybe about 90 degrees to the frontal arc. So I don't know why. I think they did that because in normal Men of War you could pretty much just use the 50 cal on the Sherman to just pretty much annihilate advancing Pumas and light vehicles that were trying to flank you. You wouldn't even have to traverse the gun. You could just use the 50 cal to take out Pumas and pretty much any vehicle that tried to flank you. So now they changed it, so you can't really do that unless you traverse the turret itself. The machine gun itself cannot traverse 360 on its own. You have to traverse the turret. And the overall power of the 50 cal has been reduced dramatically as well. My ally has a Pershing moving up there, and I noticed his Flak 37 has moved up quite a lot closer. So right here I decided to load high explosive. But from this range I cannot hit him with high explosive, so again I decided to move him up a bit more, and I decided to load AP because AP is capable of shooting farther than HE. I'm just waiting for it to load, and then I fire, I miss, reloading. Then I fire again, and that shot right there was a very lucky hit and a lucky shot, and I knocked out the gun on that, sniped off the gun on that Flak 37. So while it's not destroyed, the gun barrel has been knocked out, and it's temporarily unusable. I noticed he's marching up a bunch of tank crew, and my ally has Pershing on the right is dealing with that Stug. But as you can see right there, he's having a little bit of trouble. Well, in normal Men of War, that Stug would have been easily one or two hit by the Pershing. The Pershing is taking, or the Stug is taking multiple hits without dying. It's only getting damaged and gun damage messages. And right there I get a nice lucky follow-up hit with high explosive, and that finally finishes off the Flak 37, making it unrepairable. I buy a Ranger squad right there, and Rangers, I don't know if you know about this, but they're the very good elite infantry of the USA. They are equipped. I just noticed some airborne guys are just took over one of my allies' mortars, and they're just taking it back. But yeah, Rangers in this game are beast. They really are beast and very powerful. They have M2 carbines, which are fully automatic. Some of them have Johnson light machine guns, which is an obscure light machine gun that is actually very powerful and pretty lethal. Right there, squad gets obliterated. And some of them have Johnson rifles, which are pretty accurate as well. A few of them are also fitted with recoilless rifles, which are basically really good bazookas that can reload pretty quick. So I enjoy using them quite a lot because they have a lot of fully automatic firepower and quite a lot of anti-tank firepower at their disposal. And the German Panzer Stormtroopers, which you may remember from original Men of War as being really overpowered and extremely deadly with their Panzerfaust. So now they're not the only really elite, really good squad. All sides have a really elite good squad as well. The British get the SAS, which is the Vickers K-Go machine gun that has a 100 round drum, and it shoots so fast, it's insane. But all sides have very good elite infantry now, and I'm glad that they decided to balance that. You notice here also by an M12 Gun Motor Carriage. That's a new unit in this game as well. The gun M12 is a big self-propelled howitzer equipped with a 155mm gun. So as in original Men of War, the USA only had the M7 Priest. The Priest was a 105mm self-propelled howitzer, and now the M12 is just the same thing, just about a 155mm self-propelled howitzer. I then noticed right here that he is moving up a Panzer IV-H relatively quickly on my left flank, so I'm getting kind of worried. I tell my jumbo to load AP and to traverse and engage, and he fires a shot, but it hits the building, and he hides his Panzer IV behind the building here for a little while, because I think he's trying to defend himself and prevent him from being hit. Right there, he loses his track. Gets hit. And he is no longer mobile. As you can see, I'm doing a reverse angle shot here. I'm firing, and my allies are also firing from various different angles here. And I have my M12 Gun Motor Carriage right here is just kind of screwing around. And I probably moved him up a bit too much, but I noticed right there that he's advancing some infantry foolishly into the open, and my Rangers are just opening up on those soldiers as they run out. You can see their semi-auto and full-auto firepower is very, very deadly. And they're just cutting down those poor soldiers in the open. I notice now on my right flank that a squad of soldiers has popped up without me noticing right here, so I'm starting to get quite worried because that area is not all that secure. And now there's an enemy Humo bombing my other position as well, so this is pretty crazy. And right here I order my M12 Gun Motor Carriage to fire a barrage, danger close, firing 155. Oh, and in this case firing a barrage, but unfortunately the shells are going way over the target. And right there a shell lands near my M12 and nearly kills the guy. And right there those Grenadiers are just marching towards my GMC, and I was really worried they were going to bomb it, but then a shell hits them, blows them up, and firing and reloading. And oh, this is just insanely epic, and oh my god, they're running through the explosions and shit, and oh my god, this is just crazy. Unfortunately, my Sherman's track got knocked out, so he's currently at a vulnerable angle, and there is a Panzer IV shooting at him, an old Panzer IV-G. And I'm trying to get my M12 out of the way now because he's fired his barrage. I'm pretty sure those infantry are dead, and I'm starting to get worried. So I'm moving him backwards into position at him. See that Panzer IV in the distance, and I realize that if he's shooting me, then I guess my Sherman must be able to shoot him. So I'm traversing my gun around to engage and fire, and blam! One shot, one kill. The Panzer IV is totally destroyed. But that Panzer IV was not brand new. It was dead, and then it was repaired. So it was not totally old or anything like that. Just a bit of lag going on right here, otherwise pretty good. I'm advancing a few Rangers and guys that I have left over here to the right flank, and just to recapture that point, because apparently while those enemy infantry were running up, they managed to decapture it. So I'm just running them over there. And yeah, he's lying down. He's the guy with the Johnson light machine gun that I was talking about earlier. I really do wish that the Soviets and British were in here, but oh well, I'm sure eventually, maybe in a later open beta update, if they decide to update the open beta again, this is the Soviets and the Japanese, and maybe, or the British and maybe even the Japanese will get introduced. I really hope that they do decide to update the open beta before the game is released. Like, as I said in one of my earlier videos, I think the first one, the one that has like 10,000 views in August, I think I said that the game would be released Christmas, hopefully. That's not happening anymore. The game is going to come out the first quarter of 2011, hopefully by March or April, depending on how much more closed testing and process is going on. I haven't really been informed a whole lot. I've been checking the forums, but not really a whole lot is going on in the closed testers section, so our version is pretty much the same as the open beta right now, and until the open beta ends or whatever, or it's probably not going to end for a long time. I don't know, like the open beta is pretty much the latest the game is and has been. I mean, it's a little, the closed beta is a little different, like the UI is different, the game is also a little bit, the game is definitely different in closed beta. I don't know which one is going to turn out to be the end variant or version, but yeah, I really don't know about that, but we shall see when the time comes. Oh, and right here I buy the radio operator. The radio operator is a really good special unit available for all sides that is just the funnest to troll people with. He's equipped with a flare gun that is capable of firing like 60 in-game meters, and when it fires, it calls in a little smoke grenade, and it creates like a little puff of smoke, where after like about 10 seconds or so, a single artillery shell that is very powerful will be called in on that spot. So it is very good against fortifications because it's hard for them to move out of the way, and it's also very good against enemies that aren't watching. Like if they have their tank in one spot and they're like not watching whatever, you can march up your guy, crawl him in with his pistol, shoot, and then if he's dumb enough not to move his tank, the shell will blow his tank into Kingdom Come. It's also really good for blowing up infantry squads too. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you the rest of the footage of him blowing up a few things because the game ended and I don't have enough time without making a third part, which I really don't want to do. And yeah, so it's a really interesting unit and just one of the many things in this game that I enjoy. Well, this game is coming to a close here, and this video, second part here, is over. So be sure to check out the other videos on my channel, and I'll be sure to get some more videos up in the future now that open beta is up. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you later.